I hear you.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Salty Saturdays. I am your stream operator, Wild9, and tonight we've got a couple of THL matches, one in Legacy and one in Hero. And with us to take us through the action, Azalea, Akari, and Eternal. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing
Uh,
well. I am excited to be here to cast some great matches.
yeah, same here. I'm glad to be here as well. Back from London, all fresh to start casting some games and watching people sling cards at each other.
Yeah.
You
All
guys want
right.
to intro the first match, and then they're all getting ready to go. The bands are in and everything. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So for our first match, we're gonna have a 5 seed battle from the Legacy Gold Conference or Legacy Red Conference. It's gonna be Saku Saku of Standard TCL Degenerates and Chewbacca of a Perfect Mulligan. Both teams off to a great start on the season. Match is currently 4-0 in STD's favor. But Eternal, why don't you run us through the classes?
Sure. So on Shebecca's side, we have Druid, Hunter, Rogue, and Warlock. And on the side of Saku, we have Hunter, Paladin, Rogue, and Warlock. So pretty diverse mix of classes here. Kind of what you expect from a 5 seed match, in my opinion, where people are mostly sticking to comfort, especially this early into the patch. I'm looking forward to seeing what these two players do uh, in the series.
Absolutely. We do have three. We have the three common classes: Hunter, Rogue, Warlock, with a Paladin and a Druid. Uh, the bans are in, and both players' Hunters are banned. I found that pretty surprising, although I probably shouldn't, given how good Arcane Hunter's stats are.
I
Because if
mean,
this
it's
was a how,
Hunter too. Like,
yeah, no,
you
yeah,
you
it's
you
got so
kinda
many
have to
archetypes.
respect that.
Mhm.
It's respect that it's very versatile
Yeah,
and has a very solid matchup spread across the field. So,
absolutely
you kinda have to, like
respect it.
but what would you ban, like, if you were not considering Hunter?
Um, I think if I'm Chewbacca, I'm probably banning the Paladin. And on Saku's side, um, I it would probably be a toss up between banning Druid and Rogue. I think the Warlocks are in an interesting position at this point, but looks like our players have been given the green light, and so we're gonna be getting into the match.
Awesome.
But I do think that thinking about I think Hunter is probably the pretty correct ban from both sides, considering yeah. Right. A rogue versus druid.
Uh,
Oh, and Chewbacca bringing the new um Chewbacca with the newer
this is new to me
moonbeam.
too. I think it's
Yeah, this is
Moonbeam
a
Druid, right?
hmm?
This is new to me too. I have not faced this in ladder, so I'm curious to see what.
Mhm.
Okay. Due process. So we're gonna be drawing a lot of cards over the course of this game.
Hmm? Um yeah,
Uh,
this is the new spell power moonbeam druid deck. Um
okay. So I have not faced this in ladder.
mhm.
So maybe for the viewers, you can probably go over like what exactly Moonbeam Druid is trying to accomplish here, since it looks like a lot of stock standard stuff going on.
Mhm. Yeah, and the thing I've kind of been noted about because one of my this was a little discussion in my pro teams Discord, and
Mm-hmm.
this deck is quite good into things that don't necessarily want to aggressively take board. But I think we might see in this matchup that this Mech Rogue should be able to have some decent pressure and should make this Druid deck work.
I see. Well, when it comes to
Yeah,
Mech Rogue, you can always count on them to like put on the pressure to some extent. Yeah,
yeah,
like it's not like your typical mech deck. Like it feels like you're just making a big butt and hoping it sticks.
yeah. So the double draw, the drone constructor is a really
Yeah.
good card. Um,
Hmm.
I don't mind the Inventomatic here and just slapping on like magnetic poison or magnetic rock, one of the two magnetics onto this, and
Yeah.
just pushing the pressure. Every time something gets magnetized, it's gonna get +2/+2 extra. So and we're only a couple of turns away from this lab constructor potentially. So this druid is gonna have to move pretty fast here
Yes.
if it wants to survive. It's gonna be forced to play this early. The early draw one, gain 5 armor. As that's a really good pickup there for Saku with the Snoop. For sure. He might still want to. He might have still opted to forge instead, and that wouldn't have been wrong. But
Yeah,
putting your
probably
opponent
wouldn't. And
to
holy moly, this
yeah.
this
But yeah, putting your opponent to 6 is quite
oh
good on
my
turn
god.
4. Yeah.
Uh, that is a big Inventomatic if I've ever seen one.
Hmm. But yeah, she was just digging, and I don't really think there's much that he's going to be able to find that's going to be able to stop Saku from getting the win. And there it is.
GG.
Yeah, very interesting druid choice from Shu. Um, I would, uh, I think it, I think maybe into Warlock it has. I would say like the Warlock here might be the deck that he can get through, but I think most decks that want to get on board are gonna really make the deck struggle. So let's see what these guys bring out. Again, we're gonna see Paladin into this Druid. Oh, and it seems to be perhaps an older version of. Yeah, this is like pure. Yeah, this is Paladin via last expansion. I kind of like the comfort bring.
I respect it. I really,
Yeah.
really respect it.
Yeah, I don't think that this deck is any worse necessarily.
It's not like Paladin didn't really lose anything, nor did it gain anything. I mean, they gained a Titan, but the
Yeah.
core of the remains the
I
same.
yeah, I could see the Titan being in this deck. But that would be about it as a change. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe if this deck was running Anachronos, it's not there, but okay, let's see. Well, the discovery from Muckborn. A Jaren Moon Catcher. I think I would want to take. I'm probably taking Disco or Moon. I'm probably taking Moon. I'm taking Disco or Moon
He
Catcher, and
took
it just
the
depends.
Disco.
Yeah.
Disco was the choice here.
Mhm. I,
But this seems to be a more control-y kind of thing, which is interesting because, like, a lot of the decks here in the format seem to like go on pressuring.
yes.
But
So we're gonna
um,
see some ramping here, or yeah, some ramping. So this deck will be able to get online here a little bit. Gonna remove the Muckborn.
yep,
Um, a Sanguine Soldier and a Disco Maul.
Disco Mall is going to be pretty good, especially if you're drawing
Yeah,
all those cards. You're going to be able to
pump
pump
it.
up
Yeah.
your minions by a lot for each minion you have summoned.
Mhm.
Well, played, technically speaking, but you know,
Yeah. Yeah, I like this line.
yeah, it's standard.
Hmm. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you also got like a 2/1 drops that you can play, and then like you can go face after like go
Yeah. Curator off the top with a
Curator
boogie
and
down.
ooh. Now
Okay.
this makes things really interesting because if you want, you can go Sanguine Soldier into Boogie Down, or you can just yeah go the 2/1 drops and the 4 Quel'Thalas. Get it
Yeah.
to either way, you're gonna have pressure.
Agreed. I like the Sanguine Boogie Down line, but I think Saku's gonna go for that other line to shoot. No, he's gonna go for the Boogie Down line.
Nope.
That's absolutely fine. It's just gonna
Yeah,
he
I feel
yeah, hold
scared.
that
He's been
swing.
watching all my.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
scared. Am I being stalked? I feel like he's been watching all my
No,
Pierre Paladin
nah.
matches on ladder.
I think he just found a good line there, and
Yeah.
that was exactly what he that there was two lines that were um you know pretty good, and I think the Boogie Down line to thin the deck out because he really
Mhm.
wants to be looking for stuff like Countess as well. Still in the
Yeah.
process, he is unfortunately going to be forced to mill a card.
Mhm.
Oh no, he miscounted the mana, so he burned. I think he wanted to go for that Frost Lotus Bloom, but he did not have the mana for it. Um, I might have opted to see. Oh, okay. Well, that's
Ah,
unfortunate
one
that
of the Windlord and
and the
what's the other one?
Countess.
Oh, and he burned the Countess.
Yeah. Not the worst here.
That's
He actually gets his Light Ray down here,
yeah,
and yeah,
and
now
that's gonna make a huge thing.
you
So
swing
that
the light. You swing the
makes
3/1 into the. I would not trade the
7/7.
minion here. I certainly would not have swung before I swung my weapon in case it
Yeah.
hit the in case it goes onto the minion. And it hits. Okay, it goes onto
Ooh,
the one. It goes onto a minion that couldn't attack.
it
I'm
goes
wondering
on
if
to the
he's gonna.
dude.
Mhm. Yeah. But now this is when the armor starts coming in, and Paladin is one of those classes that still has plenty of ways to get through all the armor that's going to come in.
Yes.
Um, but they should be okay. All right, we have a
Plenty
little
of-
bit of spell power here.
I assume this is like kind of like the pop off turn to some extent.
Um, not yet. He doesn't quite have. He doesn't quite have another Geomancer and hit. Quite have ways to get a ton of minions and to do like damage with like living, or he doesn't have like living roots based stuff. Let's see, 36 Saku. I would like to see him just go for the horn here. Just really just
You need to pressure him.
apply a potential lethal by throwing horn. Just because he has so much on board, unless Shubak is gonna clear it all up. Um, he's gonna deal 6, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, so 19 damage, almost removing all the armor with with 2 for Kel'Thalos's in hand. So
Yeah.
I like this line.
And you need to at least threaten lethal, like be
Mhm.
at least close to threatening lethal, if not actually threatening it, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
and this is a lethal threat, I believe. Double
yeah,
for Kel,
it has.
just a
It's
single for yeah, single for Kel'Thalos represents 13 from hand, as
mm-hmm.
long as one minion lives. So 2 of them is a lot. So now we're gonna
Yeah,
see. Now we're gonna see him go for the pop off here. I'm not sure. Does he have it? I'm not 100% sure. He
good,
might.
good question. I mean,
I
if he goes
think
for
he
the pop
has
up turn, it'll
some.
be my first
Okay,
time seeing it.
He's actually gonna have to go for the clear.
Yeah. Okay, rake, double rake, hero power into the. Well, he doesn't have a choice, obviously, but uh, so that's
Yeah.
5 plus. So that's
Unf-
11.
Unfortunately, I don't think he can clear all the minions, and so Saku just plays double for Kel'Thalos, and
Oh my god, for
that should
Calphalos
end the game.
and the
Yep.
Feast and Famine.
Yep.
I think he has game.
I believe you would be correct.
Make sure, making sure he's counting. Always count your damage, children.
Yep. Always be
Unless you're me.
counting. Always be counting your ABCs of Hearthstone. And he has it, even just from his weapon. There we go. Boom.
Bonk.
Well done.
What? And that means Saku is now up 2-0.
Yep. He just has to win with his Warlock.
Now, I'm curious what this Warlock is going to be. Because I see a resurgence of Imp Warlock running around. Uh, it, but it could also like be that and Thaddeus Warlock or Curse Warlock. So we'll see. We'll see
Mhm.
what the Warlock is. Oh, so I think he's going Curse. I think it's a Curse Warlock. Then
Okay, yeah, this is the Curse Warlock. Okay, it's
I,
not a Thaddeus Warlock.
I
In this case, he probably keeps Dragged Below and Defile, tosses Sargeras back. And on Shu's
yeah.
side, he probably just keeps. Okay, so he opted to keep the the Bone Spike with the scrap heap from the
I'm
scrap
actually
heap.
pretty happy to see Curse Warlock for some reason being played because it was one of my favorite decks to play during the Nathria meta. Uh,
Hmm.
so, like,
Okay, yeah, Saku can just
lifesteal.
develop the most stats here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
this is Pretty good, I would say overall. If she was gonna use a bone spike here,
It would be right now.
it could severely hamper what
From
he
the
could do. Maybe
scrapyard.
maybe mm, I wonder if the line there was to actually was to coin it out and equip the
I guess you
gatekeeper.
don't
That would have
mind
been really
playing.
good.
Yeah. I guess you don't
Um,
mind playing drag below here to get the curse
yeah,
chain going. I mean, I
absolutely.
know it's a 1/1, but like still, like
Yeah, but you don't want to once that scrap heap comes in, you do not want to let the minions survive.
yes.
So we're probably gonna see something with a coin here. I would imagine. Maybe not. Maybe we play the drone and we just buff it. See what he gets. He gets that. He does not have notably he doesn't have a stealth. Ooh.
That'll be useful for later when Chewbacca starts buffing up their mechs. So I
Yeah.
could go tap
Yep. Play that
for
tour guide.
tour guide.
And
See,
I do like this play.
yeah.
He does have the 1-to-1 with the chaotic consumption, and if need be,
Mm-hmm.
he has Defile plus Sheep. Looks like Shu's just gonna go all in on one minion, so he will
That's
find very
smart.
shortly that he's gonna be in maybe a slightly rough position. And if oh my
Yes.
gosh, that's dirty.
Very
I
dirty.
think I'm reverberating that.
Very dirty. Oh, that this feels so disrespectful. This should be, as they say in the Masters Tour, is illegal.
Oh yeah. I've yeah, I also like Saku's idea. I also like Saku tapping here.
Yeah.
Um, you never know, your play might change based on that, but yep.
Oh my god, this feels so dirty right now.
Yeah, there is there is a rusher though, so
Yeah.
probably gonna be forced to use his rush minion into this.
Yep.
Very gonna be forced to use the spark bot rusher if he wants to not take 5 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the Snoop separately with a poisonous. Okay. Oh, and
And we got another
that is a
drag
strong top
below.
deck.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's a good top deck right there. That's another curse added to
Hmm.
the count. So now it'll be dealing 2 damage unless he decides to use it. Which
Hmm.
for now it's not a big deal, but it's gonna start scaling at some point.
Yeah, and because Saku has uh Saku has Dark Vein plus the file.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as long as he just keeps one of his things being the last thing that came down was a
Well,
Dirge of Despair.
well, that's a bit of a whiff.
Mhm.
Can always count on Yogg Saron to
Yeah.
make your life a roller coaster.
All right. So this, yeah. Um, no minions on the board is not the best to
It's
see
not.
for Chewbacca. He's probably gonna he's gonna make a magnetic hunt. It's gonna be stealth. So
And
Saku will
poisonous.
be over the
But this
top of it.
means that Chewbacca only has 2 cards left in hand.
Yeah,
So, like,
the Innie is a
Chewbacca's
really good
basically out of
card
gas.
though. Yeah, I would like to see. Um, I might want to see instead of playing this first, maybe there's a line where he just attacks with everything and
Yeah, go attack everything.
perhaps procs the two and then goes for other things. So he can like just defile here if he wants
Yeah, that's
to
true.
get even more things and still
I
pose a
mean, you're
cool, take
guaranteed at
heal to
least 3
full.
curses, I believe, right?
Yeah, guarantee can hope that these the minion. Ah, it doesn't target it for one. Ah, okay. That's fine. He should just drop his Zakul and heal a bunch. Yep.
Yes, that's what I would do.
This next turn, he has. Let's see. That's 3 curse
The good thing is
cards.
also that the spider doesn't have lifesteal,
Oh
so
wow, that
don't
drown is
have.
pretty clutch.
Yes.
That's
Wee. Back to the deck
fine.
it goes.
Yeah, then here is that Shu has to live with the fact that he can't take curse damage.
Yes.
Yeah, and the abyssal, and once he plays one of them, he has to burn his entire mana pool. Um,
Which as you can see, he has basically had
yeah,
to.
which
Yeah,
will allow.
especially Shadow of Demise. That's a sweet interaction,
Yeah.
honestly. So
Okay,
we go
I was
reverse.
gonna I
Yeah.
was gonna think there's a line that just goes Sargeras, and you send the minion into the void.
Mm-hmm.
But this is perfectly fine. It's still 6 damage for a curse.
We're going all in on the curse. So
And then you just chaotic consumption. Okay, I like this line.
yeah, this is good. This is more efficient actually this way, and then you can tap later on. You can tap
Mm-hmm.
and I think we might have a lethal next turn
I
from
would say
Darkon.
so.
Like I don't think there's
But
anything Ro
I
can do.
yeah, I just don't think yeah, like you said, I don't really think there's much that can do here to prevent lethal. He has to just hope that Saku doesn't have any 1 point of damage. But
Which we as casters know. We have
he has the
caster
Darkon in
vision.
hand,
Yeah, and
and more so,
that's game.
yeah, and more so if he could have reverberated if he was actually at higher health, which would
Mm-hmm.
have reached the 12. So well done by Saku getting a pretty swift sweep over Chewbacca. Um, I I thought everything was very well navigated.
So yeah, and we got to see both sides of like why Mechro could either make or break like the game. Like it doesn't
Yes.
have very good refill. It's like this is the problem with mech decks in general, and that's why you don't see it in higher levels of play as much. Is that
Um, I
like
I I think that the deck is very complex, and when played very aggressively, you're banking on gear shifts bailing you out a little bit, and I think but that sometimes just comes down to whatever type of pressure you're taking from your opponent, which we saw that the Curse Warlock getting the Dark Vein really ramped the game.
yeah?
Um, but I think the mid game Memoron draw from Shibaka could have potentially done something. There was the explosive sheep, but let's see if we can get Saku in here for an interview because we've got
Sure.
quite a lot of time before our next match.
We will get Saku in here in a second. Yeah, we
Absolutely.
definitely
Awesome.
have some time. I don't know
We have a
if
lot.
Chicken's available for a while, so we'll see.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
what? We
don't
have like
know.
over 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens with quick 3-0s. Sometimes you have that. But I do agree. I do agree with your point that Mech Rogue definitely can make or break a series, as evident if you go back and watch last night's series. I brought Mech Rogue, and I unfortunately could not quite get my Mech Rogue through in the match. And there was definitely
Yeah,
moments
I
that
gotta
I
catch
messed
on that
that I messed
actually.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out when your body's too tired to function.
Mm. Yeah. Hello, Saku. Welcome and congratulations.
Yep, yep.
I'm
Really
interviewing you
bad?
this time.
I know. It's a rarity.
Yeah.
But
What were your
that was
impressions, Saku, of the match?
the rogue game was disgusting. I already mentioned that in chat to him. That was as good as Hearthstone can get from a start to finish. I didn't see what I was expecting some kind of funky druid could because they have hockey on the team, so it's one
Yeah,
of those
that's a new development over the last couple of days. That
yeah.
deck, I
It is.
I wasn't so. I don't think it was perhaps to bring in this against your specific classes.
Yeah.
Just because your classes showed aggression and wanted to play for board. Um,
Hmm.
maybe besides if you brought like a Thaddeus or, but even that deck really wants to be on board by like turn 4 and starting to
Mhm.
do work. But yeah, I think it was a risk that he took, and it unfortunately didn't work out. But your lineup did work out.
Yeah, the Hunter ban seemed the most logical
Yeah.
step, the way
Yep.
Hunter's
It
going.
did.
So
Yeah,
Like,
especially considering what I saw from your decks. Like, yeah, definitely a good ban from both of you.
yeah, and then Paladin kind of made the mistake of picking that 5 card. I should have picked the bubble. I can't remember the name of it.
I
Uh,
I wasn't so sure that it was that. I personally like didn't mind the harmonic disco.
yeah,
You just happened to find better things to fill the curve, because I actually
yeah,
liked it because on turn 5 I would have, if you had just ripped a 1 cost with +5/+5 because you had nothing, that could have worked great.
yeah. I was had to
Yeah.
really think about that card itself and just
Mhm.
I Paladin hasn't been my favorite the last couple of seasons, so
Absolutely, yeah.
I usually get the draws against, so
Oh
this time
yeah.
it worked out for me. So
Yeah, I saw you really considering on that turn 6,
yeah,
between the Purator and the weapon. But I liked that you found the. I don't know if you saw the 2-turn lethal exactly, but the weapon was a great setup.
yeah. I felt the weapon with the what was it, the for Kel'Thuzos there, that in my hand, plus there could have been any other uh, buffs on top of that. I was comfortable that if I threw that out there on turn 6, that'd be fairly safe. But Druid does Druid things too,
Mhm.
so especially with getting, I think he had what, 20 armor at one point.
Yep,
So
yeah, he did
He
have
had
20
20
armor
armor
at
the
a
turn
point.
before. Yeah, you hit 20 armor the turn before, and you reduced it to like 4.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
especially with that disco mall,
yeah,
like basically buffing your dude up by 7/7.
it's big.
And
Yeah,
it's a big dude.
yep.
yeah.
I don't know if I took a risk there with that mall, but
Um,
I think it was
I
A
right.
mean,
little bit,
I
Yeah.
a
think
little bit.
I mean the
But
only thing that I would have said was always swing the weapon before you send the minion in case it hits the minion. But otherwise,
yeah,
that was fine. Everything else was.
yeah.
I thought you took really good lines that pushed your game plan, and it
Mhm.
worked out very well. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because like you had a lot of pressure anyways, right? Like, so what? So like, yeah, it would have been more optimal if you did swing with the weapon, but I also know that even regardless of which line you took, you would have had enough pressure anyways,
Mhm.
like to
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
like shred through his armor and potentially go for a lethal play.
Yep.
Mhm.
So and then my warlock, I was happy to see Rogue because I pretty much had answers for anything that he wanted to build.
Yep, for sure. That
You
is
know,
a
it
strong
was just
suit
That was
of the
disgusting.
deck.
yeah. So
And yeah.
it's like
In your prep of
give me.
bringing classes, did you like was it a druid target or some kind of target in terms of like bringing aggro decks?
Well, now this is me, man. My targets is just to manage to win a game out of all the competition that's in with the THL right now.
Mhm.
So
Well,
I had
the Mech Rogue is certainly a strong bring. It's
yeah,
pretty solid into everything.
yeah, it,
I was surprised at the ease of which Curse Lock won, because the stat. I mean, granted, stats are still kind of low for Curse Warlock. It's like you handled that mech rogue in it, and it's certainly
I think if
I'd
he brought
say
Druid, I think I would have lost that one just because of I'm
maybe
just
because that deck would have had time to do its
Mhm.
thing,
Yeah.
and yeah, because the only thing it doesn't like is when you play the board. That deck relies on a deck that doesn't really play the board to win.
Mhm.
And I think I mean I don't blame Shu for switching. Like you have to play for points.
Yep.
So you bring the good
Yes.
matchup, which is Rogue into Warlock is pretty solid into both Warlock decks. So, but yeah, you got the draw, you got the solid draw as the game plan worked out, and you and the
And
takes
I
home takes
finally
home.
defeated Shu. It's been a hot minute since I beat
Yeah,
up on Shu though, so apologize.
it's
But
been
great games to Chewbacca.
yeah, it's been a hot minute since he was playing. It's been a little
Yeah.
bit. It's
Yeah, it's
good to
been a
see him. It's good
while
to see him.
actually.
It's good to see him back. And you sir start this legacy season 2-0, and that's really good. I mean, hey, like from a captain's perspective, if my 5 seed is winning matches, that is really good for the team. Like
Yeah.
your team's up 8-0, and you still have Memnarch to play. You have Doctor BOMD to play. You have Risen. Like team's
It's a stacked lineup,
good potential ahead of
basically.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been a big fan of your team for seasons now.
Yeah, we're the diseased bunch. So
Yeah,
seem to
champions who have literally stuck together with only few team changes.
but yeah, so congrats to or thanks for Shu for getting this on stream. It was
Yeah.
either going to be a 3-0 either way for one of us because it's just the way our matches end up bouncing. So, but
Yeah.
thanks for getting us on there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right. Thanks
All
for
right.
having. Thanks for playing on stream.
Usually I'm the one that's casting, isn't it?
I know it's
guess.
funny. All three of well, I'm not much of an op anymore, but three of the
Yeah,
ops of THL
role
Yeah.
reversal.
Yeah.
sitting here all
I
chatting
didn't
about
realize
Saku
like all
winning.
three of you did op actually.
Yeah,
Wait, does that make me the odd man now? Am I the
No.
odd man now?
no, I don't really op anymore.
Yeah.
Just because my internet hates me a bit, but it's all good. We have Wild 9 to really that really helped us out a ton coming in, and Saku always being a great op. But yeah, obviously, congratulations. We
Yep.
do have our next match early. Our next match ready early. So
Yep.
Pretty
Thanks,
early.
guys. Have a
thank
great
you,
stream.
sir.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
All right. We have our next match, which is going to be in the Hero Series. It's going to be 2 seeds who are both 550. So it's the 1 seed and the 2. We've got Geranium Battle from Always Playoff Mode and Super Chicken from 22 Diamonds version. And in some interesting class brings, I'd say here.
Yeah, I'm really excited. These also important to note I've had the chance to work with both of these players that we will be spectating.
Mhm.
Geranium Battle being the person who got me into THL in the first place. And Super
Mhm.
Chicken, no brief. We played draft series.
Yep.
I really had nothing to do with it. I promise. It wasn't rigged. Uh,
No, it was
uh,
a hard fought. It was a hard fought 7
yeah, but
matches.
really, I'm excited to cast these two now.
Yeah.
2 very solid players in the 2 seed.
All right. So for classes, Geranium has brought Hunter, Priest, Shaman, and Warrior. Super Chicken has brought Druid, Hunter, Rogue, and Warrior. So perhaps we will get to see Odin Warrior or the new version of Control Warrior from one of these players. I
Rejoice Warrior
unfortunate,
means
yeah, and the priest is interesting. The Control Priest
control
hasn't been
priest.
as prominent, um, but maybe there's a Shadow Priest chance. I'm not quite sure. I think the meta has kind of shifted away from being Shadow Priest friendly with Control Warrior. But the Shaman bring is very interesting. I know Geranium has enjoyed some Evolved Shaman. He brought it last week. So I'm
I
curious if he'll
see.
go with that again, or if we'll see maybe we'll see a nerfed Nature Shaman. That really hasn't been super popular lately, but it does have decent threats. It yeah, it's still pretty decent enough. I think it's more like pretty much a turn slower, but we'll see how these players bring in ban. I think we're still waiting on them for ban confirmations.
It
Um,
definitely feels a little bit different. Like I played we play in my trios match. Julie did bring Nature Shaman. Granted, it was because we rolled over. But it definitely feels different. It is a little bit harder to get the OTK off. It takes a little more work than before. I believe like
mhm.
1 or 2 times later. So
Yeah,
if I don't think Geranium is someone who would bring Nature Shaman unless he had a good reason for it. Uh,
yeah,
but I can
hmm
definitely see Hunter being the primary ban because it's Hunter.
yeah. I can see it as well. Both players don't really have don't have. They might leave it up. Okay, yeah. So Geranium banned the hunter, and Super Chicken has banned the priest.
Ooh,
Um, so
spicy.
so that could give maybe some clues to the lineup. But I do know that Mekro does not like Control Priest, and Druid does not like Control Priest.
Mhm.
So it's pretty reasonable that Chicken would not want to sit through Control Priest while his decks struggle, because that would not be fun for him. But we do see, yeah. So the Priest ban makes a lot of sense. Geranium's Hunter ban also makes a lot of sense, and because that would leave all favorables for the Priest. So yeah, we'll see when the players get going. I'm sure. Yep, you gave him the green light. Awesome, very good. So we're gonna start by specking Geranium. So Geranium battle will be on the top. Will be on the bottom of our screen. Super Chicken being at the top of the screen for those watching on stream. Right, and I wonder what these leads are gonna be. I wouldn't be too surprised to see something like a double warrior, potentially. Um, but could also see something like Hunter from Geranium Battle.
It doesn't hurt to always go with the aggro lead. Because
Sure.
in my opinion, at least
hmm
that way, because you're not as worried about knowing what you are going to be playing against. If you're on the
hmm
control side, like so, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Right. Spectates are up. Or yeah, it's a warrior from Chicken and a hunter from Geranium Battle. Okay. We see a double bridge riff, but we're gonna see both chuck because there's no coin. This looks like a
Looks like a
reasonable hand for
full.
Super Chicken. And
And as for Geranium,
Geranium hard running the freezing trap is not something I've really seen too much of. I usually you're running two hidden meeting and
mhm,
either a one of like wandering, bait and switch, or cat trick, depending on what you're kind of expecting. Um, is how I've typically seen the deck built.
same here.
But
Uh,
right,
but but he made the correct mulligan decision,
hmm
tossing everything except the trinket tracker.
agreed.
Play the trinket tracker, get the uh awakening tremors.
Mhm. Ooh, that is a very good early pickup of that. I like Chicken's idea to just slam the 1/2s.
Yes,
Um, because unless there's pretty much exactly Bar Strider and the Ricochet shot, We're gonna potentially even see an extractor come down here next turn. It just depends on the draw because he doesn't have any minions in hand to buff.
On top of
So
that,
yeah,
he
so
only has like
pending a
one
minion
arcane
draw to work.
spell. He also only has one arcane spell
Yeah,
from Farstrider. Uh,
for sure.
I, I think I'd play it safe. Maybe put down the hidden meaning and then pass.
Yeah, it looks like Geranium is considering a play that would allow him to coin out double for 2 of the 4/4 rushers next turn. Oh, that Jam Sessions is quite good. Yeah, I do like this line quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising. It surprisingly makes this 4/4 play quite a bit worse because he'd have to trade into both of the minion. He'd have to trade both into the 4/5. So perhaps this turn is more of a hidden meeting turn, maybe a freezing trap turn as well if he wants to try and put the 4/5 back in the hand, which can just be circumvented by attacking with the 1/1 first. In case of wandering monster. But Geranium's looking at the trinket tracker as
Yeah,
a potential play. I don't
maybe.
know if it's frozen. I don't know. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Just held the card for a long time.
Yeah. Arcane
Up,
shot. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah,
and then the
I
other
haven't played
one.
much of I actually
Mhm,
have not played Arcane Hunter, so
mhm.
it's I imagine you do play Arcane Shot in an arcane deck, I guess.
Yes, you do definitely. So yeah, this is likely to just be a pretty good board cleanup.
Yes.
which unfortunately
Yeah.
which
If
unfortunately puts
only
Super Chicken in a bit of an awkward situation. This is correct. The
he
hidden
doesn't
meeting's
have
gonna
many
get a raid
options. He only
leader.
has like
Okay.
two. He only has the Rift and the Draw spell,
Hmm.
Light of the Phoenix to
Yeah.
actually
Hmm.
so
Yeah, and I do respect the anima extractor slam. Chicken probably just thinks, my hand is already really bad. I need to be somewhat proactive here.
mm-hmm.
He's not that I don't know. I think you're pretty unhappy, but not the most unhappy to see this. All right, yeah. So we're okay. Second extractor, and we're just gonna see it slammed. Okay. This draws another
It's
minion. Draws treasure guard. Okay.
it's honestly the best you can do right now.
Hmm.
This is
Yeah. This is not the most terrible. Not the most terrible situation. There is at least a treasure guard in hand. Um, maybe if the extractor gets bumped, which I don't think would happen, but if it did, then you'd have a 3 mana Light of the Phoenix. But if we're gonna go face, then it's also gonna make it a 3 mana draw spell. Um. All right, so bees, monsters, and this. So we're gonna go with Wandering Monster, which is a bit interesting considering there's a freezing trap. I might have taken bees to slow down whatever card is gonna get dropped,
and
and
then probably the
also
explosive
looking at
trap.
um maybe maybe that would be a potential take. I think the bait and switch or the hidden meaning is probably what he's considering, but I could see an explosive traps get picked. I just don't know if you want to be damaging and Rage Warrior minions without killing. So he does opt for the hidden meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just gonna go all face.
That's
Okay, that's
fine.
That's a great pickup. Now he has. Unfortunately, he probably has to navigate this. And he'll probably learn here that he has. Oh, he doesn't play. He plays around the freezing trap. He probably assumes that there was one picked off of. He probably is gonna guess that there was one picked off of the traps, unknowing that it's actually the hard run spell. So that's pretty interesting. Geranium picking up another Titan traps.
Yeah.
Star power isn't exactly
Yeah, I wanted to mention that, but like
No,
this
it does actually. It actually exactly
distracted,
clear.
but it also
This egg
made his
is big.
foul egg very, very big chicken.
Yes.
We have a very, very big chicken on the loose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think with the chorus riff pickup, Super Chicken is just going to look to get this other chorus riff down. I don't think he has. I think he has the depth. He has to depth the minion to get it. He casts, then he'll have 2 mana, draw 2. But
Okay, so then he goes
don't-
the imbued axe. That's fine.
okay, you see, he catches the Wandering Monster.
Yep.
Oh, pretty good draw. Or pretty good one for Drenium. He gets to draw cards. But this egg is an 8/8.
But like I said, we had Super Chicken is going to further buff up his chicken. Well, it's really an egg, but I guess I don't know. So we got an Eversong portal.
Yeah, I'd say this is maybe not the most awkward turn for Geranium.
That's not. I really don't see it being an awkward turn. But you can maybe lead off with Astalor here. Maybe damage the face. I don't think you wanna. Uh, yeah, probably damage the face because I'm trying to look at a line where like, you could just kill the foul egg just like that. So I'd say, okay, so he's gonna go the Jormungandrs plus the Astalor.
Oh,
Astalor goes face,
interesting.
and then oh, so he's going all in. Geranium's going all in here.
I found this line a bit interesting simply because if this was found, if exactly pretty much this was found, it would clear the board. I thought he might go for an Astalor, double Astalor line here. Which he now has the capabilities to do some clearing. Unfortunately, the freezing trap is still there, but I don't think he can necessarily play around it at this point. But maybe he will still play around it and wait till next turn. Oh, he trocks the hidden meaning. So maybe this might, unless he has the lowdown that Geranium likes freezing in the deck. Yeah. He does. There is clears if he wants to use his burn, but unfortunately,
Yeah, I
no
don't think you
fall.
want to use your burn for the clear.
No silver move. Farce Riders is a bit rough. Yeah, I think Geranium just wants to eliminate every other attacking minion, in order to set himself up for essentially to make sure that Chicken will potentially have to proc it on something he doesn't want to. But is this just all right? Is this just lethal?
I think he's trying to go.
Yo,
Yeah,
no,
set
no, he
that
just
up.
has lethal. No, he just has lethal.
Yes.
He He doesn't even. Oh, come on, man! You're not even gonna use your.
Arcane
He
shot,
doesn't even
and that's
just use
it.
his arcane shot. He just double ricochets. All right,
All
but he still
right,
had the lethal.
he's trying to style on him. That's
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a lethal nonetheless. The Starstrong
yeah.
bow was the Starstrong Drow pickup was the saving grace because I think I think that chicken would have been able to start pushing quite a lot of damage pretty shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that he had Remornia in hand, but I guess Dranium could have just played it conservatively, cleared the minion off, dealt a little bit of damage face.
So now we see Mech Rogue
Yeah.
or coming out of a Super Chicken. And if I'm Geranium, I feel like I want to toss this entire hand back into the deck. At least that's what I would do.
Kraken. What is that? Kraken, Tremors, and Freezing? You just keep the Tremors, I would guess, from Geranium's side. Super Chicken has opted to keep just the Oscillator. But maybe we see a full pitch
Yeah.
here from Geranium Battle.
Okay, so
Only
he
keeps
keeps the freezing trap.
only the Freezing Trap. He doesn't. His hand a bit
I
clunky
mean, I
to
guess it's
start
not that
now.
bad in this matchup, because Macro
No,
tends
it's not
to,
it's not that bad.
yeah,
I think yeah, if you can catch Super Chicken with a big, because he's gonna have a big minion to start, but he's gonna have two separate minion. But he is gonna have two separate minions now, so it's gonna be potentially awkward. He's just gonna forge, okay. Yeah, and Coppertail snooping. Rogue is on its way.
yep. We're about to see what Rogue does its thing.
Yeah, I like this play. Just get as much pressure as possible. Oh, that's a
Yep,
Mimiron. All right. We're gonna see Titan Forge traps come down here. It looks like they were forged for a reason.
yep.
What is? Oh, that was an insta pick. He wanted to insta pick the first one, maybe to scare, maybe to try and scare for a secret, or he maybe just insta clicked by accident. I would guess no accident for pick though.
I don't know if you would ever put hidden meaning on accident.
No, you don't.
But
That was an insta pick. I didn't see the spell though. Okay,
yeah,
what is
same
this?
here. But
Zombies
also
and
zombies is really
meaning.
good. I mean, bees is really good too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this is great. He's gonna be able to. Oh, he's not gonna exactly ult up.
Yeah.
But there's the zombies, which is
Yep.
fine to see.
Yep.
Okay. The meaning comes out, and oh my gosh, that's a razor scale. That is quite the card.
All right. Now we actually now the Far Strider had some better value this time. Serrated Bone Spike. That's fine. Reduce your stuff. And Nimron is
Yeah.
here. Now the question is can you get it to stick? Because
Well, it's just I
he has star
guess it's
power.
it's just how does Zeranium necessarily want to deal with it? Which he does have the weapon in hand. He also like
He also has star power too.
I wouldn't want a star power exactly here,
No,
but
definitely
and
not.
So I'm guessing he's gonna just have to take the 4 damage.
Yeah, go with
With his
weapon.
face.
Swing. Oh, okay. Swing into the Nimrod, and yeah, that's fine. You
Oh,
don't need to start
that's really
power.
good for next turn. But I think that the correct line here might even just be gear shifting. Because with all these cards costing over 2, you might just want to gear shift. He could opt to not do it. Just knowing that he's gonna crab next turn anyways. But I don't mind this at all. You find Scrap Heap, Boneyard. Yeah, Scrap Heap's really great here. They cost 2 now, but they're gonna cost 1 next turn. Mm-hmm. Crabby boy deals with this
Yeah,
perfectly.
crab.
And the
Crab.
bone spike on top of it. That's an excellent. This is a full board clear for the
Yeah,
mech
this is a
rogue.
full clear right here.
In fact, he's not even gonna worry about. You know, he's not even really worried about the razor scale because Geranium has to now remove his 6/5 in order to survive into next turn.
Not to mention, in order to reduce awakening tremors down to 1 mana.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's that maybe not necessarily that concerned. Although he does have although 2 of his cards are tremors, so his hand is is effectively just as in a bad spot as Super Chickens. Although funny enough, he has a magnetic poisonous that he could
Mhm.
actually just play that and play any Storm Coil with it, and it would remove the minion because because he would get a rush poisonous. Um, but Dream probably has to figure out that he just has to part with his star power to pretty much live. Which he might not, which he doesn't really want to play, but he kind of has to, unfortunately. Yeah, he just has to do this and go face in hero power. Yep.
Spark bot. And then, okay, interesting use of the spark bot. I don't hate it, actually.
Yeah, a very inventive use. I am glad. I mean, I was pretty sure that he would have spotted that. The interaction there. This bow costs 4. It's not going to quite get him there, and he now Geranium should throw out this dart. Should throw out the freezing trap in case Super Chicken
Yeah,
doesn't
just be
want to test for
safe.
it, and he just attacks with the innie first. But I think regardless, Super Chicken will have
No,
enough to get
it
through
doesn't
it, and
matter.
he will test with the 1/1 first always. And there you go. Super Chicken takes game 2.
GG.
Yeah, GG's. All right.
That
Series
was
all
really
tied.
back and forth, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was definitely super close. That hidden meeting really, I think the hidden meeting slowed down the game so much for the Hunter. Really, gave it good potential winning chances. I think I guess if he draws the bow earlier, it's probably a lot more difficult um for Chicken to come back from. But regardless, going into game 3 where we were Super Chicken is down, or Super Chicken has his rogue versus either the shaman or warrior of Geranium Battle. Um, I am gonna guess that we're gonna probably see a control warrior. Oh no, we see the shaman. Okay.
And what do we have? School
Um,
teacher.
this is evolve
And
sham.
yeah, it
It's
has to be
probably either
evolved
evolve
summon.
or it's not totems. So I'm gonna guess
No,
it's evolve.
that Well, you said it yourself. He has kind of been
Yeah,
enjoying the evolved shaman.
yeah. Um, so I think out of this hand, he probably maybe keeps just one ancestral knowledge at most. Maybe full tosses. From Super Chicken side, I like the clock keeping the clocker and the bone spike for sure.
I probably would
Um,
just full tossed
oh
it.
my goodness, this is a hand. If
Right?
well, unfortunately, there's not going to be anything to be serrated bone spiked on turn one, so we're just going to see the click clocker come out. Maybe with
Sorry,
the
you don't
oscillator
get
as
food.
well.
Sorry, you don't get food, Rogue.
Yeah. Okay.
So do
So
we just go hero power evolve?
I don't think you evolve, but he could if he wants to dodge, if he wants to maybe have a chance to not get bone spike, but I'm not it just I think the bone whether bone spike gets played is gonna probably depend on the draw in the minion. Well,
Yikes.
yeah,
Taunt.
it's
Okay, coins out.
okay. That's fine. Yep, you just want to remove the minions. Turn the tide is going to actually clear this up, but it'll leave the 2-1 alive. The mothership. So no playable cards, but this also leaves Uranium with no playable minions for the backstage bouncer. And he would have been overloaded regardless.
Tour guide. And then we're
Evolve
gonna
the tour
evolve
guide, okay.
again. Yeah. It served its duty.
Okay, well, we're seeing probably going to see Crab, but Mothership wouldn't be bad either. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and
Chisel. We got the chisel. Now, do you want a chisel or do you want a doom hammer here?
I think you're just hero powering and playing bouncer. Yeah. I think you just
What?
want four. I think you
Okay.
just want 4 or 5s to put in your opponent's way. Fortunately for Super Chicken, he happens to have the exact answer in the form of any
Yeah,
Soul Coil.
he
So
does.
so now this
Boom.
is looking
Boom.
extremely bad. This is looking
Yeah,
extremely
this.
bad for Geranium Battle. He does not really have a whole lot going on. He does have a little bit. He has the thing from below, and he does have an evolve. So probably gonna go draw first, and we might see something like maybe Chisel. No, he's just gonna go ahead and
No, he
he's just gonna go
scooped.
ahead and concede. He doesn't. I kind of don't know if there was enough that he could have gotten in stats to
Yeah, like
maybe
that that whole tempo swing. Well, it really wasn't much of a swing because it felt like Super Chicken was ahead like that entire game.
it definitely was a door slam.
So we have
Hmm.
Odin Warrior probably.
I
No, wait. Never mind.
Oh yeah, this
Uh,
is definitely Odin Warrior coming out. I think so. I'll I'm curious. I wonder if Duranium ends up winning this. I think there was an out for him to go for. There was like an out to play Thing from Below and hope for Mythical Terror off of the Evolve, which would have removed a lot of things and would have healed a ton. I don't know if it was enough to win the game, but it certainly would have been potentially quite a lot. Um, but we are
so
now into game four. Super Chicken up 2-1. We have Odin Warrior. We do have a reconnection from whoever disconnected,
yeah.
which is
Well,
fortunate.
so I've had the chance to play a little bit of the Odin Warrior. Uh, it's that like the buff patch has definitely helped it. Uh, in terms of like survivability and also in general just being able to actually have some like decent like it just made their tools a lot better, especially with blade. Storm, I believe, being buffed, right? What else got buffed in this patch?
Yeah, there was a lot of buff cards. I think the most important one was the weapon being changed to give armor during attack, which
Yeah.
especially post Odin is quite gross.
Oh yes, I actually tried that interaction too. It's like, oh, I gained 4 armor? Okay, then I'm dealing 7 damage
yeah,
to
it's
the enemy.
yeah. All
That was
right,
a pretty
so
neat interaction when I tried it out, so
mhm,
yeah, so we're gonna go shield block, gain 5 armor, draw a card.
yeah, a
Uh,
shield block on this turn, but I like this play a lot. Just buffing the to a 4/5, keeping it stealthed.
this brawl is gonna be
Oh,
really
that
good
was a
later on.
that stealth spark bot pretty big, honestly. Um, I wonder kind of
I
what
think
how
you
Duranium's
just I
gonna
think you
go
just
about
hard
this.
cast. You just hard cast,
That's a good bash.
or not. Uh,
No, yeah, I think the reasoning
dash.
is if you're playing the heavy plate now, you're kind of like it's giving the rogue kind of more time to spread buffs to spread magnetics around. Super Ticket is just gonna go here, just go straight forward, gonna remove all the armor here. With an 8/10,
Dirty
which
rat.
yeah, I don't think you want to play Dirty Rat into
Uh,
this deck unless you know that you're not gonna really get much. But here
yeah,
we're
I
gonna
don't think you'd want a dirty rat, honestly.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Spider is
Like,
a great pickup again.
oh, like, imagine dirty
Oh my
ratting and then
gosh.
your opponent ends up getting a Krakatoa.
Mm-hmm. This is still a really good Blade Storm. This Blade Storm clears up the board. Perhaps Chicken wanted to put it on his bigger minion. Because now he's put himself in a pretty awkward situation where he's not gonna have a single minion on board.
And
He's
then we go
probably
slam
forced
here.
he's
Like,
forced to yeah.
I would go slam. Or not. I mean, I
The
don't know if
second
I want
bash,
to.
I could see that, but
My
I
bash, my
also
bad,
don't.
my bad.
But I also don't mind wanting to draw 2 cards for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prep gear shift to see what happens.
Well, the
Krakatoa,
good
not
thing is,
exactly what you need.
yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We go Bone Spike into Oscillator,
hmm He opts to. He does opt
and
to.
now he's literally out of gas. Jabba
Yeah,
by
this
Fire is
is.
going to run into the Oscillator, buffing them the other tokens even more.
That's not the worst draw, but I think I don't think this is a pretty winning position for Super Chicken here. He's down. He's up in health, but I don't think it's gonna stand for maybe that long.
Yeah.
He's got a draw card. Yeah. Okay, Scourge Illusionist is a good pickup. So that would
And we
make
got
sense with the
the
motherships.
Shield Slam.
Um,
And
let's
then,
see.
you have some options here. You can
I
Dirty Rat now.
okay. He's gonna opt
Yeah,
to
I don't
Dirty
have an
Rat.
issue with that.
Pulls the Illusionist. That's gonna produce a 2-mana 4/4 motherships, which
Mhm.
I Geranium does at least like have something here he can do for that. Um, yeah, the weapons expert is quite good. He's gonna go here to just remove it with a bash and everything face. Okay, he's starting to turn. He's gonna pretty much attempt to turn the corner here. Start getting the damage out. He has Odin on the next turn.
Yes.
Mothership is pretty
He
okay here. It'll get the dirty rat
mhm.
out of the way. But
And he's really in a good position to turn the
I
corner right now.
11. It's almost lethal with Odin here.
Yeah,
Um, but
this is
so the
where
clock is, you know, um,
ticking.
pretty much have to find. I don't know what he can find here. Pretty much to come back. The Odin is such a strong pickup.
Very.
Setting Super Chicken to 3. Yeah.
And now
And
Geranium has
he kind of
19
dead
on
and
board now.
and he dead draws the illusionist. He's gonna look. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and hit his mothership, and he's gonna pretty much have to look for whatever he can from the mechs here, and unfortunately doesn't find anything that rushes. He can technically armor up with a draw here, which he's gonna opt for with the hook fist. Finds Inventomatic, which is not a magnetizing minion. So in the end, this is going to result in likely a win for Geranium. So it's going to come down to Super Chicken on his Druid versus Geranium on the Odin Warrior.
That'll be an
Which-
interesting matchup for sure.
I
Roll
guess
out the silver scrapes, people.
Yeah, now this is where the Moonbeam Druid is playable. It just depends on what
It
Super
is.
Chicken wants to bring.
Well,
It would be funny
Yeah.
if he brought the Moonbeam deck. I don't think he did. I believe this is Drum Druid. Which
yeah, because if he did, like, this would
Yeah.
have been a perfect time for Moonbeam Druid.
it's
Like, I
still
was looking at
actually
the
okay
matchup.
for the
Yeah,
This is still okay for the Drum Druid, actually.
yeah.
I would say it's showing good stats in a small in like decent sample size. Like
Yeah.
it's showing to be a positive match for the Druid. So we'll see how Super Chicken navigates this.
Yeah, because earlier I had looked at some of the stats for Moonbeam Druid, like while we were casting, and like the the Druid decks hate pressure. Honestly, they 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 don't like being hit in the face for some reason.
Yeah. All right. So the Blossom will be 2 Treants. There's a Cultivation in hand, so potential for some early buffs. Aquatic
We-
is quite a good card, even at 5 mana. Here you can try and find stuff like
I think we can
Flower
go
Summer
shield block
Child.
here. Draw another card.
Yeah,
And make
I
sure you find an
agree.
opening.
Yeah, I do agree.
Like, and then shield slam if you need to be mana efficient and stuff like that.
Mhm. I Yeah, I guess there could be consideration to hold off on playing the shield block when you can just bash, and kill the minion and you're getting 2 less armor, but you're removing the minion with 1 less card.
So
But
2
yeah,
less armor.
I think either line was fine.
Yeah,
Ooh,
two
there's the
two
cycle.
less armor and 1 less card. Really.
Okay.
Okay.
So the plan is simple for Super Chicken from here. He wants a drum circle to play early, either to hopefully play before turn 7. And Geranium, seeing Disciple of Eonar, really would like to find likely find Bladestorm or Brawl.
Mm-hmm. Bladestorm is going to be really good actually in this matchup. In the event that Super Chicken ends up making a really big board.
Yes, you're correct.
Yes.
Most Druid boards are pretty symmetrical.
Yeah.
Are pretty much the same health across the board. It's not too likely that you have one minion. You have like minions of varying healths without trades.
Yeah.
But there's all right, Embrace of Nature, that will guarantee it with the Forge, and he's gonna solar it. Oh my goodness! All right,
Okay.
this is the pressure. gets a Lifebinder's Gift and a Drum Circle. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Innervate Circle potentially next turn. But we do see Draining Battle is going to do some armoring and drawing.
And I have to make sure you wanna get a shield slam. I mean, I guess you have some tools now to kind of deal with whatever potential board that Super
Yeah.
Chicken is able to give us.
I would guess we're just gonna get just a regular drum circle board here. Because the cultivation won't be active yet. But so it is gonna be quite a lot coming down. It's gonna be at least 168 with 4 6s. So he could go for the line that leaves it at 5 and makes Bladestorm awkward, or he could push the damage. He's gonna opt to do that. He's gonna opt for the line that might make Bladestorm awkward. And he did pick up Bladestorm, so there will be 4 surviving minions, but he does have a Forged Bellowing Flames, which would be able to full clear the board in that case. So, gonna be a bit all for naught. But Super Chicken still has a decent chunk of gas with a double choose with his Lifebinder being both effects. He has Planted Evidence to go looking, so it's just gonna really be a matter of kind of how Geranium wants to do this, and it looks like we're gonna opt for a Forging Flames.
Okay, fine.
So he could just go
draw.
shield. So I wonder if he's just gonna go for a shield slam and shield slam Bladestorm line. Yeah, okay. Maybe trading the Viper after. Yeah.
I already see some bugs. Twitch chat. And Brawl is really good too here. But I really want to get that Odin down, like whenever we get the chance, like in 2 turns time. Which I think we should be in a good position to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Super Chicken is I think going for a line that means he puts down a bunch of things early really is good. You want to he's not going to go for it. I thought going for a line where you put stuff down and force a clear might be pretty good here.
Yeah.
But he is just going to go for the Weapon Expert for the draw to get his Craftsman weapon equipped, which will definitely be something, which will be getting in some damage here. And Super Chicken here will at least be able to make this turn quite awkward for Odin. So probably gonna force no Odin, but unfortunately, just with the way that I think he should play the Natural Cause just to prevent Bladestorm. Very likely.
That would really help.
Because Odin's already super awkward. He's not going to. Okay, he's fortunately not going to get very punished. Although Geranium does have a 2 attack minion, a 2 health minion, so that would be pretty awkward. So likely to just see a brawl here, I would imagine.
Brawl would be good here. You want to get rid of this board right now.
Yeah, the worst result for Super Chicken would be the 3-2 living, and of course it's the 3-2 living that wins. And no drum circles left without discovers. So the druid's in a very awkward position. Planted Evidence can produce some magic.
Yes.
Potentially that in the other Lifebinder's Gift. But Odin isn't as awkward right now.
It's not. Now that he's kinda in the clear.
A lot of sin. He's
Uh,
just gonna make as wide a board as possible.
that's all
Place
right.
his summer flower child.
Sunflower
Okay,
child.
okay. Um,
I don't hate this.
let's see how he wants to commit onto the board.
Cultivate.
Okay, he's just gonna commit one. Odin is again pretty awkward now,
Yeah.
unless you're because Dranium doesn't have really much of a lethal. He does have trial by fire, which I'm not sure how that. I'm not sure exactly how he's would clear with it, but I imagine there's something that you can come up with, especially with bellowing flames in your hand. Um, for
Well,
sure.
first I would probably start off by clearing out like the cost, highest defense health minion.
Oh, sure.
Shield slam. That's a good start. And then you really want to be trading the Steam Guardian into one of the 4/4s, and then you can start clearing.
Hmm. Okay, so he's just gonna go for the Odin
Okay, let's
play.
go
Okay.
to Odin. Odin.
Okay, he's gonna offer this. Now a solar now solar here doesn't do a ton, unfortunately, for Super Chicken, but honestly, this could get a little messy here.
It could.
We're
Uh,
gonna
right
we're gonna
now,
get rushers and there's gonna be buffs
yeah.
um coming in. Well, I guess cultivation is the only nature spell left, but gonna be decent damage coming in. Just gonna make sure probably to remove the Steam Guardian. But
Just
I'm
realize
not
that.
exactly sure what the line needs to be here. Um, I I would venture he's gonna try and fill his board as much as possible. He probably has to clear this Odin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with
You, you have
perhaps
to clear it,
with
otherwise it's
his
lethal.
rushers. Um, yeah, so he's gonna offer this line. Okay, I don't hate it. This cultivation will spawn a 5/5, I think. And even if not, he can just clear with his own minion. No, it just spawns a 3/3. Okay. Okay, he knows that he. Okay. Um, I believe this is just lethal back with heavy
So with
plate
the
shield
weapon
block.
alone, it's 7,
It's lethal.
12. Yeah,
He had
it's
lethal just by
lethal.
playing the shield block. Or sorry, just by playing the heavy plate, it was
Yeah,
lethal.
that's good. That's
Um,
lethal.
yeah,
GG.
killed from 20 by rage by control warrior. That is a win, a match win for Geranium Battle.
And that was so hard fought. Like it even took the wind out of my sails. But yeah, congratulations to Geranium Battles for the 3-2.
We'll see if we can get him in for an interview in a sec.
Okay, sure.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
And we finished pretty early too.
Um. Yeah, it was about a 40. It was probably about 40 minutes or so. Welcome, Geranium Battle. Congratulations on your victory.
Uh,
He's probably just getting his mic.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Congrats
Yeah.
on the win. It was a very back and forth series. Um, and then Odin Warrior just kind of blasted a couple of games. That was quite. That was a good series.
And I thought, yeah, that was a really good series and a very hard fought one as well. Like I am when you're ass blasted by Odin Warrior, it doesn't feel that great.
But yeah,
Uh,
I guess going into. Oh, I guess you're gonna say something.
no. I mean, I was gonna say that the uh warrior was well positioned for me. So
It was, yeah.
Mhm.
I yeah. I was I yeah. It's interesting because the last game, like unless the stats are gonna change, it shows Drum Druid is pretty favored, but maybe it's more even, and you had the
oh
clears to get through.
yeah, sorry. I was I'm both in this winner's interview and I'm dealing with something else that's very important.
Oh
Um,
no.
so uh about on that topic, on Drum Druid being favored. Um, I actually don't really think it is. So Drum Druid, of course, makes board after board after board. And the idea is that maybe Warrior runs out of board clears. Warrior does not run out of board clears. Um, so what ends up happening is when people are testing stuff on ladder and seeing that there's a bunch of control warriors, they end up bringing these really weird druid decks, ones that have like the jailer or ones that have or like death rattle druid and stuff like that. And HS replay doesn't categorize those properly. So I'm pretty sure those are all categorized as drum druid, and I think those are favored against warrior, and normal drum druid is not as favored. Or at least it's
Gotcha.
definitely not like 56%.
Gotcha. None of the HS replay like main decks are categorized
Yeah.
as having those cards.
Uh,
But the other ones just
I
don't
don't
have the
know.
game. The other ones just don't have that game. The
I also
games.
like if you go and watch specific VODs on HS replay, like it'll say you'll queue up a VOD that is specifically um Control Warrior versus Drum Druid. And then sometimes when you queue up Control Warrior versus Drum Druid, just to be like, oh, how does Drum Druid win this match? It's a different deck entirely. So that's sort of what I'm talking about. Is I know it does categorize it wrong. I just don't know like
Mhm.
to what point that is.
Yeah. Gotta love looking for VODs, and the VOD is time stamped to not when the match happened, but to the middle of a TFT match that Asmo was playing. Thank you,
Uh
thank you, HS Replay.
yes,
but
that's glitched.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But anyways,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
obviously it was a good win. I think, like, that priest was super well positioned as well, and which forced the ban, uh, from chicken essentially. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I think
guess.
he was not expecting me to submit Priest. Like I'm pretty sure his team was really like all in sync saying, yeah, this is the best lineup, and then it all loses to Priest. So except for Hunter, which I had to ban.
Yes.
So he was merciful to stream and let you guys not watch me bully him with Control Priest 3 games in a row because I was bringing Control Priest.
I thought
But
so. I thought it would be
yeah.
Control
Well,
Priest.
yeah. I mean, that's really probably. I think it's like the only viable priest deck at this point. I think I think undeads. I think the undeads like kind of is getting pretty pushed out right by other things now. So
No, Undead is still
Eh,
pretty solid.
Undead is
I
fine. It's just it suffers from a lot of what other linear decks suffer from. It's so like
well, it suffers from
maybe it's
having
not
bad
as good
matchups.
at like
Suffers from having a bad matchup into Odin Warrior, Mage, Arcane Hunter, well, Arcane
yeah
even, and Mech Rogue and Pure Paladin. Like it's not as good of an aggro deck as other aggro decks. It can
yeah.
feast on some decks. Like it beats Druid because Druid's slightly too slow sometimes. But if it's Treant Druid, I think Treant Druid probably handles it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Regardless of all my talk about priest of undead priest stats, uh, thank you for coming on stream, both of you. Thanks to, and I'll also once again say thanks to Saku and Shu, who played in the first match.
Yeah,
Any
that
Yeah,
was a crazy match.
Yeah,
that was a banger.
Moonbeam Druid is a deck.
So true. It's definitely a deck and didn't lose him the series.
I I was half expecting Chicken to pull out a Moonbeam Druid against your control warrior, but it didn't happen. Like I
Yeah,
wanted it. I thought
I
it'd be funny, but I didn't think.
I
But
ended up losing a bet to Dankist because I said he would bring Moonbeam, and Dankist said, "Ain't no way." So
yeah, Chicken. I don't know if
Wah, wah.
Chicken's someone who will just randomly bring a deck that's 2 days old, essentially
yeah, no,
a couple days old. Yeah, yeah.
he is wary of the Neji weapon rogue curse.
Yeah.
I'm not wary of this, but okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're teamed together.
Surely Weapon Rogue will win a game. and it
It
proceeded
did
and it
not.
proceeded to not win a game. But anyways, yeah. I guess any parting words so we can let you go and deal with what you're dealing with outside of our interview.
Well, I can't really do anything about it anymore. I've
Gotcha.
done
You
all I
can.
can there, but
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that the new raffle system is very good. I'm glad that THL put that in, and I'm really
Yeah.
glad that that you guys are here to cast. I think that it's I mean, not only do you need OPs like Wild Knight, but you also need casters, and I think you guys did a great job match 1 at least. I couldn't listen to match 2.
Of course.
Of course. Although it did feel a little bit strange. I'm casting the very same person that got me into THL in the first place.
Yes, and then you were talking about draft series as well. I think
Yeah.
caught that before I had to leave. Anyways, uh, it is a great sorry, yeah. Thank you guys for chatting, and
Of
I'll be heading out.
course.
All right. Thanks for being playing on stream. We do have some matches coming up tomorrow night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, running until maybe 10 p.m. We have 3 matches tomorrow. So Geranium Battle, who we just talked to, is coming back, playing a legacy match. Classy Thug, one of my teammates, is playing one against Elbom. And then Nenji Boston is playing Molestar in Hero to clean it up for tomorrow night. So stick around tomorrow or come back tomorrow and we'll have more matches for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Eternal and Azalea, for being here and casting. It's always a pleasure.
Great. Yeah, I had a blast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See you guys tomorrow night, hopefully. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
I hear you got a problem. Another round? Why do you... You are not prepared! You are not! This guy's toast. Leroy! Not prepared!
Goodbye.